So if you guys didn't see part 1 of this video, we did quote unquote Ruger 1022 build. And basically with this build, there's nothing Ruger about it. We got the Tactical Solutions X-Ring barrel right here. This right here is probably the lightest barrel that I've ever felt in my hands to date. We also got the Magpul stock. We got some Volquartsen trigger parts. We got the Holosun red dot. But in the original video, we didn't have a chance to fire it. Since the last video, we have had a chance to put hundreds of rounds through this. I don't remember what the actual round count is, but it's close to 500-ish rounds through it. Had a few issues, and so we're gonna be talking about, what kind of issues I ran into, and if I was able to fix them, and if I was, how did I fix them? And then here in a bit, we're gonna dive up close. We're gonna take a look at how the parts are wearing so far, maybe clean it up a little bit and see what that's all about. I'm not sure if we're gonna clean it yet or not, but anyways, for those of you who are new to this channel, this is my very first experience with a 1022. So it's been a very interesting experience to say the least, especially when I was breaking it in, and we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. If you guys are interested in any of the parts that we put on this build, as always guys, just check the first link down in the description below. If you're on YouTube, it will take you to the build list where you will find a complete list of links for every single part. So with that being said, let's just dive up close. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what we see, and then we'll talk about the reliability and maybe some mods coming soon in the future. Right now, up close, I'm just gonna kind of briefly go over the parts. I'm not gonna go into super detail because we did that in the first video. So if you wanna watch that, I'll put a link below where you can find that, as well as the build list and the coupon codes for all the parts. Just a quick gist, we got the Magpul stock. We've got the Tactical Solutions X-Ring barrel that weighs 15 freaking ounces. That's insane. It weighs less than my Glock 19. That is awesome. Love this thing. It's got a little threaded portion here for suppressors and or compensators, but we'll talk a little bit more about that stuff later. We got the Holosun 510C red dot. We also got the Volquartsen trigger group, the Volquartsen competition bolt right here. And then we got the exclusive Brownells 1022 receiver. This receiver can be bought in a few different configurations, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So let's talk about a couple of the issues that I had when building it. And I think I covered this in the build video. Inside of this receiver, there was a small little portion that was not allowing the bolt to completely seat inside, and I had to grind that off. It wasn't bad, it was just like, because of the mold or whatever that made this, it was just a little bitty tab that I had to file off because I couldn't get the bolt in there. One thing I had to do with this stock was I had to add all of the extensions that come with it so I could increase my length of pull to make it more comfortable. This right up here is the Volquartsen trigger. Look at that sexy thing. I mean, it looks like pure sex. I mean, I'm not trying to be crude, but look at that. That's just gorgeous. Anyways, let's look at the reset, take up, and all that cool stuff. Take up, break. I mean, that was nothing. Reset, break. Wow, we definitely got to do a pull weight on this. I believe in the first video, before we had any rounds through it, I think it was pulling just under 2 pounds. So let's try it now. So that one pulled at 2.5 pounds, but I pulled really high up. I'm gonna have to hold this trigger gauge. I gotta get a new trigger gauge, but let's pull it closer towards the bottom where we would actually, see how it moves? This is why I have to hold it. So don't worry, I'm not gonna help this trigger, but I gotta hold this still. So yeah, there we go. Closer towards the bottom, just under 2 pounds. I mean, these things are amazing. I have one in my Ruger Mark IV build that we did, and I absolutely love it to death. This barrel here, this is, like I mentioned earlier, this is the Tactical Solutions barrel. It has some very, very heavy fluting. I mean, that is some deep flutes. Look at my fingers. Look how deep my finger goes into that. That is insane. That takes a lot of the weight out. It's a 1 in 16 twist rate, and they got these in like some awesome colors. They have red, they got blue, basically America, red, white, and blue. They got this one, I think they got a bronze one and a black one. I'll have a link for that included in the build list. Holosun 510C. This one has multiple reticles. This one's the red one. You can also get these in green as well. See if we can get that to zoom. I forgot how to change the reticles. Let me see. I think I just press and hold. That's the circle. It's nowhere near that big. So, well, my camera's not gonna work with me today, but basically you'll have to go watch the other video to see that. My focus just is, I have great autofocus on this camera. The problem is it doesn't want to do what I want it to do. and I can't remember how to switch it to manual focus. It does have 3 different reticles. It's got the little 3 MOA dot, or 2 MOA, I don't remember. Then it's got the circle dot and then a circle without a dot. I think they're saying 50,000 or 55,000 hours of battery life. Has a little solar panel right up here. It's a little bit big, but hey, I'm just really liking it. But overall, this thing has really been an amazing build. But now let's jump up top. Let's go over some range footage. Let's talk about how the reliability has been on this, because I had a few little issues and we need to find out if I could get those rectified, and if I did, how did I fix them? Then we're gonna talk about future mods, then we're gonna wrap up this video. Back up top. So there we have it, guys. That is the 1022 build in all of its glory. What do you guys think about this? I'm really curious to hear what your guys' opinions are about it. Let's just address the elephant in the room. This is an expensive 1022 build. Why? Because I get curious. I like to go to the extremes with things. That's why when we did the tactical shotgun build, in the very beginning, I put all the tactical god-awful accessories that you could possibly think of on it. Because I like to take things to the extreme to see what it's all about, and then maybe tone it back a little bit. And that's exactly what we've done with this build right here, and I'm actually loving it to death. So with that being said, let's talk about the reliability of this. So the first range trip was kind of a fail, so to speak, because I couldn't get this thing to go through a whole mag without malfunctioning. Now, anyone who's ever shot 22s before, you guys know that, these aren't exactly the most reliable guns ever, unless you're shooting like a revolver, because the nature of the rounds are just kind of inconsistent. I brought it home, I cleaned it up, I really oiled up this bolt right here. So we got that oiled up, I had to make sure that this was as slippery as snot on a doorknob. Went back to the range and it ran without a single hitch. I think I put like 5 or 6 of these 25 round mags through it in one range trip. Legitimately just did not fail. It did not have any issues at all. And I was using the same exact ammo that I was using in the very first range trip. So it wasn't ammo related. I'm guessing things just needed to get broken in and things just needed to get slippery. That's all I can say about that. I'm really liking this barrel. The Tactical Solutions X-Ring barrel. Like I said up close, this barrel only weighs 15 ounces. It's 1 ounce less than a pound. Now I have another 1022 barrel that I haven't showed you guys yet, because we're gonna do a second 1022 build, and it's not gonna look anything like this one. It's gonna be a completely different concept. So if you're not subscribed, hit the little subscribe button so you guys can check out that video when it comes out. That other barrel that I have, it's even fluted like this. I have it fluted and everything, and it probably weighs 3 pounds. So this is literally a third of the weight of your standard 1022 barrel. And that's definitely prevalent out there when you're just like shooting down the range. You don't get any fatigue from holding it or anything. Like I showed you guys up close, the Brownells receiver, it is really nice. I like how you can choose to get these either with the Picatinny rail or without them. If you want to go for more of that simple old school look and you don't really worry about putting a red dot on it and you just want to keep it simple, you can most definitely get it without the rail. Also, if you don't want to fiddle with installing barrels and stuff, you can actually get these with or without the tactical rail, but also with a barrel already installed. It's also a Brownells 1022 barrel. So those are available for you. And I believe if you get the one with the barrel, it already has a front sight post installed. Not 100% sure, but I'll put links below for all that. Let's just talk about the Volquartsen trigger group, man. Holy heart failure. Is this thing a beauty? I mean, it's less than 2 pounds on a trigger pull. I like the way that the shoe feels on the finger. The reset is super short. I'm a trigger snob by nature, so I definitely love it. It's actually just as good as the Volquartsen trigger that we put into the Ruger Mark IV. If you guys didn't see that video, I'll put a link like up here or something like that. The Volquartsen bolt, this is their competition bolt right here. This bolt is a lot different than the standard bolts that you get for a 1022. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically it has integrated recoil springs and all that crazy stuff. If you want to know more about that, just go watch my original build video and that will tell you everything you need to know. Now that we've kind of talked about all that, let's talk about any future mods or things of that nature that I'm considering on here. Number one, because this X-Ring barrel here, it is a threaded barrel, I might look for some compensators. Not that they're really necessary on a 22 1022. But hey, why not, right? It's only weird if it doesn't work. I might try some compensators out in the future. Number two, I'm kind of considering whether or not we should get this stock Cerakoted or not. I kind of feel like we could do some damage if we got a good Cerakote job on it. But let me know what you guys think down in the description below. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback about that. What color should we get the stock painted? And should we get the receiver painted to match it, or should we paint it a different color? I'm not painting the barrel. I love this finish. It's a tactical gray, I believe is what it is. The Holosun 510C red dot. I mean, I've talked about this red dot in a few different videos. I believe I just talked about it in our 9mm AR pistol video that we just put out a few days ago. And I originally got this red dot for the 1022, but because I don't shoot the 1022 very often, I'm always testing different guns when I go to the range. I've just been taking it off, slapping it on different rifles and different pistols, and then kind of getting a rough zero just to kind of test things. It's running like a champ. I absolutely love this thing. For the money, it's really hard to beat. You can get these with a red dot or a green dot, but having the multiple reticles where you can get the circle with the dot, or you can just get a standard dot or a circle without a dot, I love that. I just love having choices with anything that I do. 100% recommend these. I will have a few different links for these. I know where you can get these for probably, I can't remember if it's like $75 off or $50 off. I'll have a link. Just check the first link down below. With the Magpul stock, I am going to get a cheek riser for this. I just haven't had a chance to pick one up yet, but that is definitely coming in the very near future. But hey, let me know what you guys think about this overall. What colors would you Cerakote it? Let me know if there's anything about it that you would change. I'd love to shoot the shit with you guys down in the comments. But anyways, hey, if you like this video, just hit the like button. But if you didn't like it, I don't care if you hit the dislike button. Funny story about negative comments and dislikes. YouTube doesn't care. It's engagement on a video. So I love it when I get a troll because they will just drastically boost the engagement of my video. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll kind of agitate them a little bit just to kind of make them keep commenting. And then that way the video starts ranking higher and getting, yeah, it's a whole algorithm thing. Subscribe if you're not already. But until next time, guys, I love you and you guys stay sexy.